For this review, we take a look at something that's a little bit different. It's made by IMC models and it's Scheuerle InterCombi modules, and it's fitted with a rotor blade adapter and a wind turbine blade. The parts are separately packaged and the wind turbine blade comes in soft foam rubber, and it's also individually wrapped in soft paper. We won't rip the paper off, we'll just smoothly slide the wind turbine blade out. Before we get on to opening up the Scheuerle components, there's a small instruction book to look at. It's in IMC style for this type of model and shows you step-by-step instructions to put it together. But one thing that's not included with the model is any information about the real equipment. Still, at least the Cranes etc. Dumbo team should be able to put the model together. Inside the factory sealed trays, the Scheuerle parts are nicely wrapped in soft paper. To begin the assembly, we need to insert the connectors into the end of the Scheuerle units, and to make it easy, we're using a pair of pliers. Next, we need to insert the rotor adapter between the two modules, so we'll clip it into the 2-axle module to start with. And once you've got it in place, you can secure it in position with the usual sliding locking bolt system. It's a similar process for the 6-axle module, but there's not a sliding bolt at this end, so we have to insert a separate steel pin. Once we push that in and it's firmly set, then we've created a rigid connection. So there we have the modules all joined up, and we need something to power them along. For that we need to attach the power pack, and it connects in the first instance to the sliding bolt on the module. As before, we secure the connection by sliding the bolt, and then to get the power pack at the right angle we need to turn the module over, and there's a top latch which you need to feed into the module and clip it down into place, and that holds the power pack at the right angle. The next job is to start loading up the counterweights, and before we do that we'll put the cover plates on the modules. These are used to cover the steering mechanisms, and they're a good fit and they simply drop into place. Now you can see we fitted a counterweight plate by pinning it at one corner, and that's because the pin is under the generator. So actually you need to put that in before fully connecting up the adapter. Then on top of that there are a number of counterweight plates to add, and they slide around a bit, but there are a couple of securing pins that you need to push through. We then go to the 6-axle module, and it's a similar process by attaching the cover plates first. And then after we've done that, there's a different arrangement for the counterweight because it's on a special sliding plate. To make things easy, we've put most of the pins into the plate so that when we drop the plate on top, we can just push the pins into the holes on the module. After it's all secured, then once again it's time to load up the counterweight. And this time it's 2 sets of 3 plates each, and again there are pins that go through them to stop them sliding about. We're nearly done now, so there's only one more thing to do, and that's to attach the turbine blade. It's got a special holder in the end with pins that drop into the adapter, and once you've eased it carefully into position, you secure it by attaching pins at the bottom. The modules are nicely engineered parts with metal wheel sets and nice wheels and tyres. The power pack is a very detailed part with mesh surfacing and grills, and the modules have got a yellow stripe and tiny graphics on the edges. The adapter is mostly a metal part, although the generator and handrail are plastic, albeit with an excellent colour match. The counterweight slabs are nicely formed metal pieces, and some have small graphics. The turbine blade is a big resin or plastic part, and it's got a very good profile. A particularly nice aspect of it is the very sharp graphics. The Scheuerle modules are nicely engineered parts and they roll quite well. And a nice aspect of these ones is that they've got fully sprung suspension, although you can't set a spring extension to a given length. The other feature of the modules is that they have steering, And on the 6-axle it's proportional, with one end steering much more than the other. That means that it corners more realistically. For the smaller 2-axle module, the steering is more or less parallel, so it just scoots about from side to side. One thing to note on these modules is that the steering bars are all screwed in position, and theoretically you could alter the steering linkages. Let's check out the steering on the whole module, and with all the axles set it will trace a fairly shallow curve. Another feature on the model is the sliding counterweight, and that would be set depending on how the modules and turbine blade were being transported. Similarly, you can raise the angle of the turbine blade and pin it in 2 positions depending on the terrain it's travelling through. And finally, there's another feature, and that is that you can rotate the turbine blade a little, but watch out for the pins sliding out and make sure they don't get lost. This is quite a big model, so let's go for a dim check with the blade up to the maximum, and it reaches 19 inches or nearly 50 centimetres, or end to end it's about 28 inches or 70 centimetres. This is an unusual and very nice model from IMC Models. The level of detailing is very good, and it also has a very high quality finish. Coupled with that is very good model engineering, so all of the features work well too. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit different, this model is outstanding.